Hi guys, Luke from Lucas Cars, today back with a new video. Me and Alex are currently up at the unit and today's project is the BMW, not Craig's one, but the one that I got a while ago if you've seen it. It's basically a hump of questionable metal, which is this lovely thing. So I bought this without really a guided plan of what it was going to be. The current result is that it's just going to be stripped for parts, which isn't really a big deal because it's just extra pennies and that sort of thing. It'd take way too much work for what I'm able to do physically and would like to financially put into it, which was never like, I didn't have a goal for it, I just got it because it was a decent price and the trailer enabled me to just go and pick it up because it was there and I got offered a good price for it, so here we are. But today's mission is going to be take the engine out, which luckily all the wiring pretty much is disconnected. It's just the mounts and stuff and maybe some other lines and that are connected. I've not done this before. I put engines in on like trains and stuff because for work and stuff, but cars and that are a lot different. I guess it should technically be easier, but I don't know until I'm doing it. So I guess it's different lifting mechanism stuff to what I use myself at work. But yeah, it'd be interesting. I thought I'd document the process just because it'd be a bit of a laugh with the lads. Should have Gebby coming up in a bit as well. Yeah, so here we are. I'm going to try and pull it out sketchily with them one day because obviously it doesn't work for anyone that isn't familiar with the vehicle. It's just an engine in a box and everything else has been stripped pretty much. There's like arms and stuff on it which are worth some pennies, but yeah, so we're going to try and drag it out of the lovely corner it's just been crammed into and then get the front end into the unit so we can basically start dismantling. So it should be fun, something a bit interesting, keep the brain busy and advance our skills a little bit on just general car stuff, but something a bit new. So yeah, enjoy. Camera angle number 01, whatever you want to call it, of the temptation of I can't even English. Attempt 1, it should be just one attempt anyway.
Take 1.
Slow. All yours.
Come in.
Yeah, keep pulling. One sec. It looks strong. You want to go like that? Yeah. It's in. That wasn't actually too bad. We just obviously took our time with it, made sure it was controlled whilst coming in. There's a bit of a slope coming into the unit, which I don't know if you'll be able to see too much of that on film. But she's in, so we've got something to work with now, nice flat ground. I'll have a look over it and stuff and see if there's any other bits I need disconnected, because I've seen some pipes at the bottom, but we'll evaluate what I've got to do and then we'll start doing it and we'll show you the process or whatnot, so yeah. So obviously I've jacked up a little bit just to look at the gearbox mounts first before we obviously do anything at the front, because it will make sense to try and pull that out whilst the back end's stuck in. The gearbox mounts are hardly in. I touched them when the bolts fell out. Luckily that means I can get a nice size without having to faff around with taking tools underneath the car. There's only one of them in, so I'm going to take that out first, and then we'll look at undoing the front of the engine. It doesn't look like there's anything connected, but I'll show you guys all the sort of bits that I've seen of concern / how we go lifting and such. But yeah, this bit's pretty simple, it's just a bracket. So obviously the bottom bit's undone now bracket wise. The next bit is obviously taking the engine mounts, or undoing the engine mounts. It's a 60mm socket for these, and I touched the brake bar and it thinking it was going to be tight and just went like that, and it was loose, so I assume it's possibly been out and just been rammed back in. Could be wrong, but which is good, means we don't have to struggle with that part of things. And then I just cut the harness that goes, there's some wires that come off the actual gearbox itself, they're pretty sensors for whatever that go into the car, so I'm not going to faff with disconnecting them. I could, but I don't think it's as much of a necessity for the time and effort I actually want to put into it, so just cut them because it is what it is. The only thing I didn't realise we didn't have is actual proper lifting chains for an engine. We have an engine crane, but we don't have chains, so we've got to strap it basically, which isn't my preferred method of lifting, just because with an engine I don't know where like centre weight and stuff would be, but we'll find out and we'll see how that goes, I suppose. Yeah, I'll undo these bolts and then we'll try and strap it, I suppose, and see how that goes, trying to pull that actually out. We'll strap at the front, which you might have seen issues possibly when we're pulling it. That was stuck under the engine, in which we're like, it'd be really good to strap the engine rather than using like a ratchet strap, so it's a bit dodgy. Then I was like, it's stuck in the engine, maybe they use this to put it in. Turns out that's possibly the case, so we've pulled it through, like, because it's strapped so you can't get it out, but because it's under the engine we've just looped it up and round, which I think that's why that's stuck in there, because they used it to put it in, and it just got a bit wedged in, so we're going to attempt to use that basically, which I think is how they got it in or out, or whatever they were doing with it beforehand, so make things easy really, or should be, so positive.
So basically, you know how I said we dropped it down?
Yeah.
It was in here.
Right.
While the engine was lifted up, undid it, slid it.
So what's the strongest weight furthest back?
Furthest back. This is 200 kilogram. You want to take it up to 3?
Yeah.
Which is this next one, which...
Catch on that.
That's us out.
Is that still attached? Oh no.
It's still doing well.
No, that's not the steering.
No, it's still attached to it, isn't it? Still attached to it,
Wait a sec.
I think we're maxed out there.
I've also got a bit of an inside crank going on. Fuck is the thing?
You just need one bolt on that. 19 maybe?
Right, yeah, but I don't want to disconnect fucking something else like.
It's here. Into the bottom of here. Yeah, span on that.
No.
Tell it to stay.
Don't worry, I've got it, pal. You ready? It won't ever
I
stay.
don't need to go fully out, so I'm going to fix them. Actually, no, I'll put it on the bottle of any other bit source. It's currently a rollable vehicle. There we go. Ta-da!
Yes.
I'll get the thumbnail picture. Yeah, so
Yes.
overall then I can't see the screen now.
No idea. Wow. QJZ.
Yeah.
Yes.
The main thing is we should be able to lift the pallet. I don't know.
There's a... I don't know whether the lads are in there.
Pallet trunk.
There's a pallet truck and
Can't really
But
wheel
yeah.
one of them off road, I wouldn't have thought.
Huh?
Right now.
Good for us, isn't it?
Okay, I'm bringing it down slowly. I'm bringing it.
It's all good.
Sorry.
I don't know how you're actually meant to use this, you know, because it's like, it just doesn't give you a good position to drop the engine.
Also a longest engine with that connected in it.
Yes, so. Even if you didn't have the box on it, you've got even
It's kind
less.
of awkward, isn't it?
Do you want me to lift it up and...
Nah,
Yeah.
I'd say it's not that. You basically just get it at that, and then we just have to pick it up and shuffle.
Oh, no. This bike's supposed to go to the gym.
I think you're
I
right.
didn't realise you were fucking doing that.
Put it from here.
You good?
Yep.
I will join in.
No, it's fine. You do what you do with that.
Around to
It's still on there.
it's on the pallet.
Yeah, you could drop off.
So we go back, we're gonna...
Do you want to come to here and I can go to the back? Because I can grab off that.
Yeah.
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 Let's start again. We'll probably do it like this.
Who are you grabbing, Kev? You wanna... Is there any foot... You get the
I'm
engine
just
mount.
grabbing this.
That's a...
There's
You
a
want
chance
us
I
to
might
hold
let go before you
Which
guys,
is
but
what
I'll
I
let you
want.
know just because I don't want to get my hands crushed.
Yeah.
Can we?
Ready?
We have got a limited amount we can move with this pallet.
Can you just unhook that?
I would.
Just hold on. Just unhook this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're not on anyway, so just unhook.
Little boys.
Yep. Right.
Yeah, you all good? Just want to get penetrated. No. Not again.
Ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
She needs chocking, to be fair. She needs
What,
some
a block
help.
under?
Yeah, but
Under what?
no, at work, Lucas.
Under what, pal?
Give me. Oh, the tie's a bit big, really. Under the right engine mount.
Yeah, you can let go because it's only should be me.
You're right. You're gonna let go.
Wait, we're here.
Oh no.
Oh, we need something.
Yeah, I meant under like the only. So jumping a little bit head forward, we finished off obviously pulling the engine out, and then I somewhat didn't really film anything else. I think it's because a couple of the lads come up and started just chatting general sort of stuff, and then I ended up going out, so I kind of left it where it was. The main thing obviously was getting the engine out and the experience of that, which was actually really easy, if I'm honest, because they weren't super tight, the bolts on it. There's obviously only the 2 rubber mounts and there's the gearbox mounts, and that was literally it, so it wasn't anything too crazy. And obviously everything out was in the engine bay, and it wasn't like we were trying to preserve anything, so the only thing we had to cut was one line that was like a brake, like a clutch line or something, which wasn't a big deal because I cut it on the inside of the car, so the part that goes to the actual gearbox itself was sound like intact, if that makes sense. So that's obviously the main thing of this video, just somewhat document that, just because it's the first time actually doing that, so I thought it'd just be cool to film it and just see how it went really, which was, I'd say, a success. What I'd like to add though, I ended up jumping ahead a little bit, and the BMW is now fully stripped somewhat. It's now a hovercraft, I'd like to call it. It's lovely dumped on some tyres because I don't know how else to do it. See how clean the seals are on that thing though. It's a shame that this is going to get scrapped, but hopefully we'll be able to sell the front tube work, because it'd be a shame for that to be wasted because it is quite impressive. Bar that, we have got everything else here, which is all the lovely bits that were on the car, just standard hubs, standard suspension, but you got like your polybush front sway bar. These arms are quite nice. I don't think they're actually polybushed or anything, but they're just nice stock arms. Same with like the rear spring carrier. It's probably got a correct name, like a control arm possibly. These items are obviously quite nice. These are the front. Are they the front or are they the back? No, they were the back. I'm lying to you. These are the back hub arm bit. It's got a fancy name which I don't know what it is, but they're polybushed. Same with the rear subframe, which is polybushed as well, or the diff carrier, whatever you want to call it. There's loads of different names online. So they're the bits that will make somewhat money on this car. Same with the adjustable track rod ends. I think that's what they'd be called. That's what I'm calling them. Or they could be some other rod end thing. It's that style of item anyway, which is adjustable, which is obviously what people want. So it wasn't actually awful to undo any of these either. It's like the guide put them on finger tight, bar like that a little bit. It was a bit tricky, but just thought I'd add that just so it was there. Everyone knows what the update is with the Beamer if you're interested. It was a bit of a an odd one anyway. It's never necessarily going anywhere as such, but I like to just document stuff so you kind of in the loop and you know, rather than just going, what happened to the beam? It's like, well, I've stripped it and that's being sold, so now you know if you didn't know. So yeah, it's kind of it really. I'm not really going to document anything else on that car. That was probably the last time you maybe see it. It might be in the back of some videos, depending on how long it takes for me to get the shell taken away. But yeah, I'll be listing some bits up on Facebook and stuff, and hopefully sell them and get some pennies to spend on this lovely fine machine, which definitely needs my money being spent on her. I need to dial in the suspension on this still, because the left side's just low and right side, and I don't know why, because I've changed the suspension on it and it's adjusted to the lowest, so I don't know why it's set like that, unless the tyre pressure's wrong, I don't know, but it could be to do with the tracking, because obviously that's fresh, this side's not, so I might just have to realign the car. Besides the point, that's not this video, that is another video and just general information on what's going on. Before I ramble too much, because it's very easily done, I'm going to end the video here. Hopefully it's enjoyable, hopefully you learned something, maybe you didn't, maybe it's just a good watch, but until next time guys, catch you later.